Hello ladies and gentlemen, Keaton here, and welcome to Nuclear Throne update number 51. For those of you who do not know, this is the one time a week where we here at Tengu Drop take a look at the latest Nuclear Throne update, grab that changelog, put it into video format for your viewing pleasure, and show you as much as possible. With that said, before we head into update number 51, let's quickly recap what happened in update number 50. Update number 50 focused heavily on fixing and balancing content that has been added over the past few weeks, including a change to Steroid's passive and Throne Butt abilities, altering Chicken's maximum HP after losing her head, and many changes to mutations, weapons, and ultra mutations. Also included were new environmental details. Now that we're all caught up, let's check out update number 51. Players clamoring for new ways to destroy their enemies will be delighted to know that every new piece of new content added this week is weapon related. First up are a couple of heavy weapons, the heavy revolver and the heavy machine gun. Much like the heavy crossbow, these two weapons pack a lot more punch than their non-heavy versions, but are slower to fire as a result. So players thinking to pick these babies up in a firefight should remember to make their shots count. The second couple of weapons added this week are of the Ultra variety. Yes, Ultra mutations are no longer the only Ultra prefixed feature in Nuclear Throne. This week introduces the first two of likely many new Ultra weapons, the Ultra Revolver and the Ultra Laser Pistol. These Ultra charged weapons can cause a beautiful bit of damage, but come at a cost. Along with the necessary ammo, in order to use Ultra weapons, players must have rads to spare. Otherwise, these weapons are nothing more than really pretty paperweights. Rad woes aside though, Ultra weapons will allow players to blast through enemies with way more ease, especially when using the Ultra Laser Pistol, which fires lasers in 5 directions at once. So as long as players bring their rads, these new Ultra weapons will bring the pain. Finally, the Sledgehammer has been changed, and with its change comes a brand new melee weapon, the Wrench. Players can now channel their inner bloodthirsty plumber with this new weapon that serves to replace the original Sledgehammer. It's hard to tell whether this is exactly like the old Sledgehammer and this is simply a reskin, but regardless, you won't need a tie to swing this baby around. And this is actually a perfect segue into this week's fixes and changes, starting with the Sledgehammer. The Sledgehammer has been altered to do more damage, but at a much slower rate of fire. In other words, players who pick up the new Sledgehammer, which looks just like the old Sledgehammer by the way, should expect to swing it about twice as slow as before, but also expect it to smash a whole lot more along the way. For the record, it seems the Golden Sledgehammer still behaves like the old Sledgehammer, and it's currently unclear if it's expected to change in the future. And fixes this week address crashes related to explosions and Chicken's HP loss. That's it for fixes and changes this week. Let's move on to what the community's been up to. Last week, Steam user Solid issued the Piety Pit challenge, and the victor was clearly Diplomas, further proving that we need technology that can properly identify how people should pronounce their usernames. This week, Solid has issued the Sniper Challenge, requiring players to go the distance with Chicken without picking up energy weapons or a variety of useful mutations. If such masochism intrigues you, be sure to check out the challenge at the link in the description below, listed under Community Link Dump. And that does it for update number 51. It's interesting to see new heavy weapons added, but I'm not sure how useful they'll be in the long run. Ultra weapons are also very interesting, and the necessary gamble required to use them effectively will give players a good challenge. But it's hard to say whether or not they will ultimately be worth the requirements, you know, given how scarce resources can become sometimes. We'll just have to wait and see. As for the Wrench and Sledgehammer, I haven't had enough time to gauge whether this is actually a quote-unquote controversial change, but so far it doesn't seem to be too big of a deal. The Sledgehammer's changes make sense considering it's, well, a sledgehammer. But Vlambeer are looking for feedback on these weapons, so definitely let your voice be heard. Anyway, if you haven't already purchased Nuclear Throne and you would like to learn more about it, be sure to check out nuclearthrone.com. You can also subscribe to Vlambeer's Twitch channel where they live stream the development of this game every Tuesday and Thursday. Subscribing gives you access to Nuclear Throne emoticons to use on twitch.tv, as well as a Steam copy of the game. And of course, we here at Tengu Drop do our best to cover the latest Nuclear Throne update every weekend or whenever it's actually released. And we also do a Nuclear Throne playthrough called the One Shot every Thursday. So be sure to check back often, or just subscribe to the channel. As always, I'm interested to hear your thoughts on the latest additions and changes made to the game. How do you feel about the new heavy weapons and ultra weapons? How do you feel about the whole quote-unquote controversial change to the Sledgehammer and the addition of the wrench? Be sure to leave your thoughts in the comments section below. Thank you for watching, hope you enjoyed it, hope it was informative, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye!